What's going on YouTube? My name is Ginge TCG or Chris, and thanks for coming back to the channel for another Rogue deck video. Today I'm bringing you one of my favorite decks to play at local tournaments, smaller tournaments. Overall, I don't think it's at like the highest competitive level of all the other decks as much as I want it to be, but I think this version of it is the best out right now, and it will be a Garchomp EX deck. Garchomp EX is one of my favorite EX Pokemon to be dropped, and I'm waiting for the partner to make this deck perfect. But right now I think we have a really fun one that gives you a lot of fun games and provides the deck with a lot of versatility. Garchomp EX, 320 HP. You can use Irida to take Rare Candy and Garchomp out. It's pretty easy to set up. It only costs 1 energy for Hydrolanter, which is the main attack that we will be using. It does 160 damage, and you attach 3 basic energy from your discard pile to any bench Pokemon in any way you like. And because of the wording on the ability, you have to attach at least 1 basic energy if you have energy in discard, because it doesn't say you may attach up to 3 basic energy, it just says attach. So sometimes it gets a little tricky if you don't have Pokemon on your bench that need energy, but overall I think I've never really had an issue with that. It's just something to keep in mind. Its other attack, Sonic Dive, is alright. You discard 2 energy from the Pokemon and you do 120 to a random bench a bench Pokemon you choose. The attack is okay. I've never really used it much, but I mean, it's not super hard to set up, especially if you have more than 1 Garchomp in play, because Garchomp also has a free retreat cost. So what that means is if a deck isn't hitting super hard, you can attack with 1 Garchomp, retreat, attack with another attacker, and if that other attacker is Garchomp, you could just keep retreat looping and get some really big damage off. Pretty quick. 160 damage is awesome numbers right now. I mean, it puts you at 320 damage with 2 shots, which is perfect for things like Pidgeot, any V-Star, also Dragon Ball is a big one right now, and if Raging Bull has the tool attached where they have 290 HP, what is it, the Ancient Booster Capsule, where they actually hit 300 with that, you also 2-shot that. You could 2-shot Guardy EX. Overall, not a bad card, does some solid damage. You might be thinking, well, you're 10 damage short on Charizard EX, how do you deal with Charizard EX? We are running, the partner for this deck is Okidogi, we're running with Garchomp. With the Adrena power, it has an awesome ability that if there's any dark energy attached, you get 100 extra HP, which puts you at 230 HP, which is ridiculous for a single prize Pokemon, and you do 100 more damage, which puts you at 170, and 170 plus 160 is 330, which does take out your Charizard EXs. And something I was thinking too was like, okay, like, how often are you really going to get these dark energy attached? Honestly, it's not super hard when you're playing 4 Luminous Energy and using the A-Spec Legacy Energy. So, Legacy Energy is an awesome card. If your Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize card. So, if this is on Okidogi, you get the damage buff, the health buff, and they take 0 prize cards when they kill it, which is an absolutely lethal combo because that thing is an insane single prizer right now. And honestly, from what I found, these are not super hard to find and get attached, and because they are rainbow energy, the setup for Okidogi isn't super hard. If you have a Luminous or Legacy energy attached to Okidogi, you only need 1 fighting energy as well to attack, because the rainbow energy makes you have the 2 fighting for the attack cost, as well as the dark energy for the buff at once. So you don't need 2 fighting and 1 dark to make Okidogi work, which really makes it pretty simple to use. The other partners I have in the deck is Radiant Greninja for a draw engine, Bibarel and Bidoof for a more extra support. I am choosing to play the 70 HP Bidoof because Dragon Ball exists, and sometimes the ability to send 6 damage counters to a Bidoof really could hurt you if they killed a Bidoof or you need it at some point in the game for extra assistance. So I just think right now the 70 HP Bidoof is something that it's a bit nice to keep in mind, and especially keep in a few more decks. Terrakion is the one of the other attackers I have in the deck. It's not the final attacker, I got one more. Terrakion has an insane attack called Cavern Tackle. For 3 energy, you do 120 damage, which isn't insane, but during your opponent's next turn, you prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon, unless they use like a Prime Catcher boss play to re-attack it, but at that point, they'll probably just send it to the bench. And if you used Cavern Tackle during your last turn, this attack can't be used. So you can't spam Cavern Tackle, because that would just be a little too overpowered. But it's definitely a nice attack to use, and something I found when testing this deck out is, if you notice the 3 retreat cost and 3 energy cost, something you could potentially do, use Cavern Tackle, retreat for 3 energy, go into a Hydrolander, do 160, retreat for free, and set up those 3 energy you just discarded, and then you get off another Cavern Tackle, and you could loop those a little bit, and that is a super annoying loop to get around. It doesn't happen often, but every now and then, especially against a deck like Lost Box, you might be able to pull that off once or twice, because, you know, you live a Cram hit, you live a Sableye hit, it's weak to Grass as well, so it's not weak to a Psychic Pokemon. Not that that matters with Sableye, because it's damage counters. But still, you know, that's a deck where you might be able to loop something like that off. Not too bad. And the final attacker in the deck is Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. Honestly, this might be the most cuttable card from the deck, surprisingly. But I have it here because it has its insane ability Season skill, where the attack, Bloodmoon, used by this Pokemon, costs a colorless energy less for every prize card your opponent has taken. So if they've taken 5 prize cards, you attack for free. And that's not something that's super hard to set up with this deck to attack for free, since we're playing a bunch of single prizers and we're not entirely revolving around Garchomp EX. So it's definitely an option for the deck. I think if you wanted to cut it, you know, maybe this deck could use another switch out. Maybe a fun tool, you know, get a solid tool in there. I don't know which one I would necessarily play, but there are definitely some options. Like, I think Bloodmoon Ursaluna, as overpowered as it is, isn't 100% necessary for the deck to function. I think Garchomp, Okidogi, with the option of Terrakion, is honestly more than enough right now. But we're going to keep it here. It's a nice, bulky, 2-prize attacker that does some insane damage, so we're going to rock with it for now. For the list itself, I mean, we got Energy Lotos to ensure that we're finding out the Luminous and Legacy energies when we need them, and sometimes it doesn't hurt to get an extra fighting energy in play. We got 2 Artazon to make sure we're getting Gibles and Bidoofs on the bench. We got, you know, just a couple Ultra Balls. We don't need a lot since we are playing 3 copies of Irida, which does search you out Garchomps, and 3 Nest Balls, as well as 3 Buddy Poffins. I guess another option, if you really wanted to, you could cut Bloodmoon Ursaluna for Ultra Ball, but at least with my testing, I haven't really been digging for Ultra Ball too much, because usually you just need it for Garchomp, and I mean, Irida gets you that, so maybe use 1 for Bibarel and use Irida to search your Garchomp anyways. Like, I don't think 3 or 4 Ultra Balls is super necessary. We are playing 3 Iono as well and 1 Turo, just for some more, you know, I guess like another switching out, or to scoop up a Garchomp that's taken some damage, or even an Okidogi. 2 Boss, 1 Counter Catcher I think is plenty of Gust for the deck, and 1 Professor's Research to round us out for the supporter line. And we got 2 Rod, which I think is plenty of support. You really don't need Rod to take back energy, since you could use Garchomp to recycle your energy. Rod is kind of just there to make sure you got your Pokemon back in play after they've been knocked out. And I think 2 is plenty for a deck like this. I wouldn't play less, but you definitely don't need more than 2 Rod with this deck. So yeah, that's the deck. I mean, let's hop into 3 games and see how it does. Okay, and into match number 1, we are choosing the coin flip. We're always rocking heads, and honestly, with a good hand, this deck could go first, because you do like to evolve, and if you could be the early game aggressor, that is awesome. But I'm going to choose to go second, because if you have a rough hand, and I'd always rather play it safe, you could always Irida or use a supporter to make sure you get extra ways to get your board set up to evolved. And I'm kind of happy I chose to go second, because this would have been a rougher turn 1, but, you know, we could work with it. I mean, we got Buddy Poffin, so we could get another Gible and another Bidoof, just in case this Gible is KO'd. And I like the Nest Ball because we can, I think I might go Radiant Greninja here, just for some extra draw, because this hand's looking a little rough. We don't necessarily need Okidogi yet. We could set that up whenever we're ready to attack, and that is not right now. So let's see what our opponent's playing. I mean, they're playing Tatsugiri, and that is going to be Gardevoir. Tatsugiri has an awesome ability to attract customers. You look at the top 6 and you can search for a supporter. Definitely not a bad ability to have, especially in a deck like Gardevoir. I think that's a fun little tech card for it. Definitely ensures that early game consistency that, you know, they might need to get their board set up as well, because they also need a bigger board. And we're going to get Bidoof off Buddy Poffin, which is awesome. Or off top deck, which is awesome. So, I was going to say, I don't know if I'm going to search for it with this. I might take a Manaphy here, because I don't feel like dealing with Screamtails. And I might be crazy for that, but if we could make sure our Okidogis don't get KO'd before we have the Psychic Energy, or the Dark Energy on them, I think that's going to be big for us. So yeah, I'm going to definitely go for Manaphy here. And we could live a turn without attaching it, because I don't want to waste a Luminous right now. But we do... Oh, never mind. Are we going to be able to play the game? TCG Live doing its thing. You'd think for a client this popular, they would have worked through a lot of these bugs. But anyways, yeah, I am going to use Radiant Greninja, use Concealed Cards. We are going to get rid of the basic Fighting Energy because we need it a lot less. And we're going to get another Fighting Energy, which isn't bad. So here... I'm going to hold off on playing Terrakion right now. But I think we definitely... They're probably not attacking this turn. I could even wait. I might even wait and hold off on attaching the energy. I don't think we need to attach this turn. So I'm just going to pass. I mean, it's just one energy to set up an attack. So we could attack. So we could attach to a different Pokemon next turn. But there's no perfect Pokemon I want to attach to. If they somehow KO this, I don't feel like... I would feel like I wasted the energy. And I don't want to necessarily attach to this in case they don't kill this. And since this deck is so easy to set up, since it's just one Fighting Energy to attach to a Garchomp, to then start carrying the rest of your game... Honestly, I don't think it's necessary to attach this energy. I think I'd rather save it for Concealed Cards. And then if we get Rare Candy or something like that, then I'm going to be ripping Luminous on Garchomp because we got to start attacking early at that point. So I think that's going to be our line. But our hand is definitely looking a little rough here. And against a deck like Gardevoir, it's not something you want to see. Gardevoir, in my opinion, is the best deck in the format. I mean, especially after its performance at NAIC, I don't think... you could really argue it too much. I mean, there was, what, 4 or 6 or something like that Gardevoirs in top 8 at NAIC, which was the biggest tournament, I believe, to date for an IC, which is just absolutely insane. And it looks like they're going to go for a TM evolution here. Start getting some Curlies into play, which is nice because we're not having the best setup either, so if we both take some time to set our board up, I don't think either of us are complaining. What else did they? Yeah, they just had a standard turn with Arven as well. And we get Energy Loto, which doesn't necessarily help us, but it could help us in the deck, and that is what we're going to do. Get another Fighting Energy, 2 Concealed Cards away, and hopefully now we get a nice supporter we could use to set our board up and get attacking. And we don't. Oh, it's going to be one of these games. Okay. I think here... Oh, man, there's not really a great play here no matter what we do, huh? I don't want to retreat into Bidoof either, because then if they do set up Screamtails next turn, they're just going to start swinging at her. I mean, we do have Manaphy in play. It's just retreating that Bidoof is going to be so annoying, and we only play one switch out. We just play the one switch card and Turo. I think I'm just going to attach to the bench here. I don't want to play Buddy Poffin. I don't want another Gible in play. Yet, at least. And I think we're just going to pass with that, yeah. Definitely a rough setup for the deck. I mean, you know, it's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes the cards on top are just not the cards you need. It is a TCG, so sometimes luck just comes into it, but not the ideal setup, for sure. We're so close. One Irida away. One, honestly, even like Iono away from having a phenomenal board state. But we just can't get evolving here, which happens sometimes. Now I'm eating my words, saying that you don't really need another Ultra Ball. Now I'm praying for an Ultra Ball. But yeah, no, I don't think it's totally necessary. But if I have more games like this, maybe. And they will go for an attract customers. So kind of hoping they would take Iono there and rip an Iono, but I'm not surprised they didn't. Their hand is looking massive, so I do want to start knocking that back down to size if I could get my own Ionos. But, you know, we'll see what they grab off this Arven. They did get rid of Fluttermane, which doesn't really help them too much this matchup. And they did set up their Monkey Dory, which is a little annoying. But let's see what they grab off this Buddy Puff, and probably Drifloom. And I'm curious to see what they'll finish their bench off with at that point. I mean, you could go Screamtails. We do have Manaphy, so that's probably not looking as hot. You could go Cresselia, and they go for 2 Ralts. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Because, I mean, Gardevoir EX, I don't think would be the best attacker in this matchup. It's definitely a nice attacker right now, that's for sure. And now we really got to see if we could get Rare Candy this turn. We need Garchomp in play, like, right now. That would be awesome, too, because they don't have space for Drifloom, and we're not necessarily taking a KO. I really do want to start picking this Gardevoir EX with damage. And they're going to start getting rid of our Manaphy. Saw that one coming. That's annoying, but if we could get evolved and everything going soon, we could live without Manaphy. We just need a Manaphy for now. So let's promote this Gible. And let's see what we top deck. That does not help us at all. Please, concealed cards, dig us out of the hole. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that is perfect. We can rock with that. So we definitely need Rare Candy. I think here we're going to bench Terrakion. This is definitely going to be a game where this thing sees play. And we are going to go... Do I even want to take Garchomp? I think I do. And I might have to waste a Rod, and I think that's just because we're having such a poor setup, and I want to see if we can get our board a little more established. Because what I'm going to do here, we're going to Rare Candy into Garchomp. And I think we do want to take another Gible and see if we can get another Garchomp set up. We don't want to use Super Rod right now, do we? No. We'll just draw Bibarel for 1. See what we get, and it's another Rod. Oh, our hand is so clogged. It is okay, though. I mean, you know, that just happens sometimes. So we're going to swing for 160, do some solid damage on this Gardevoir. And I'm going to put 2 energy here. I'm going to throw 1 on the Gible. We have the Luminous Energy. If we have to attach it to Terrakion, not super upset about it. We're probably going to conceal cards. But I might be swinging again with this Garchomp. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, he's got 120 HP left. This is where my head was at. He's got 120 HP left, so it's like, oh, you know, Terrakion is perfectly set up here. They are just going to use Adrena Brain, and take 30 damage off, and now Terrakion isn't looking perfect. And they're going to keep targeting the Manaphy, which is solid. Definitely a solid play for us. And they Iono here, which saves. Absolutely saves us. Thank gosh for that. And our hand is surprisingly looking just as rough as the first one. Oh, man. This is going to be a tough one. I don't even really want to play Artazon. I don't want to give them the option to also search for their Pokemon, especially when our whole hand is just all the Pokemon we can need for the rest of the day. But if nothing else... Oh, are they going to retreat here? I think they might retreat and swing with Monkey Dory, which I don't hate because I will be going in with Cavern Tackle at that point. We got a free retreat, get rid of that confusion. I'm not dealing with the flipping heads to attack. And we will take a KO and be invincible next turn if they don't find a boss. Countercatcher won't work. We would both be at 5 prize cards if that happens too, which would be kind of nice for us. This is also, I believe, I think it is my first game against Guardy with this Garchomp deck. So I am curious to see, you know, how this deck turns out. But I mean, we still got some tricks up our sleeve, and they just swing with Guardy. That is huge for us because we are taking the KO with Garchomp this turn, and we are finding it. Oh, that is perfect. I think I definitely want to thin first. Want to go Garchomp or Candy. I don't think I mind using 2 Garchomps because we have Legacy Energy in our back pocket. I probably should have prize checked a little bit, but you know, it's fine. We'll figure that out later. That's a later issue for sure. And we are gonna draw here. Oh, not some bad. Those are okay. I mean, again, the hand's looking a little dead, but we can retreat we can bring up another Garchomp, so they have to deal with this one now. And we can swing for KO and fully set up our Terrakion. Which is definitely a solid play. And we get 2 prize cards, so hopefully, we'll get bailed out by the prize cards here a little bit. This is kind of mean, though, where I say the deck those are the most dead cards we could have found. Oh, boy. And if they attack with Mind Bend, 60 damage, and the pesky part is the confusion, so we have to flip a coin of heads. We attack. If tails, we do 30 damage, and we don't attack. We do 30 damage to ourselves, and we don't attack, which is, like, super annoying. But, this is what I was saying, where, like, the deck kind of sets up itself. I mean, you use Hydrolander, and you immediately, you got a bunch of setup Pokemon on your bench, which is solid. And they're probably going to use Adrena Brain here, KO or Manaphy, but I can rock with that, because now we can get our Okidogi set up, and it is weak to Psychic, but if it's on the bench with this Luminous Energy, they can't KO it with Scream Tails, because I believe you can't do weakness and resistance damage to bench, so it would just swing for its regular damage, and they fail the Artazon. That's kind of terrifying, actually, for our opponent. I feel like they might have prized some good attackers at that point, because I don't know why they wouldn't have taken, and they Adrena Brain onto Manaphy. I'm curious why they wouldn't have taken Drifbloom, Scream Tails, Cresselia, literally any of their best attackers, even Mimikyu. But we'll see what they do here. If they place a Pokemon right now, I have a feeling that a lot of their Pokemon were prized, which would be awful for them, but we got bad luck with the hands. They might have some bad luck with the Pokemon, and they discard Turo. That is huge for us, because if we get damage and they get rid of Mimikyu, that's interesting too. I guess they don't want to use Mimikyu. We got Terrakion set up, so that would be the easiest retreat into Terrakion we could do, but definitely an interesting play. I'm curious if they just swing with Mind Bend, or if they have to use this Refinement, right? Yeah, I was going to say, their hand can only get bigger. It is Guardy, and clearly they're looking for Pokemon. I don't know why they're failing Artazons out here, but, I mean, it's fine by us, for sure. Oh, 1 sec, sorry. Alright. And they choose the Super Rod. What are they taking back? Cresselia. Oh, I forgot Cresselia was discarded, and they take back the Scream Tails. It's got a pesky attack, 90 damage. It's not too much damage. They could spread some damage counters with that. And what did they take with that Ultra Ball? Did they play it yet? Yeah, they took Guardy EX. Okay, that makes sense. They might be going in with Guardy again here. And they unfair stamp. That is fine, because we got Bibarel set up. So I'm not upset about that at all. That is a new hand for us, and that is as close to great as we could get right now. So I'm curious if he attacks with Mind Bend. Oh, we might be seeing another attack here. Maybe Cresselia. They might target down the Bibarel, which would hurt, but we've got Iono. They take Heavy Ball. Drifbloom has to be in the prizes. There's no way it's not. Another Monkey Dory. I mean, if they're attacking with Monkey Dories, I'm chilling. We got free retreat, man. We are... Nope. I think they're going down into Guardy right now. That would make the most sense. Yep. And they're going to use Miracle Force again, but they did get Turo into the discard. They did use Refinement to get rid of that. The reason Turo is scary is it's never going to work because they're playing cards, yeah, but Turo picks up an entire Pokemon, puts it into your hand, so they would essentially like full heal it and just evolve another one of their Curlias. But since they already used Refinement to get rid of Turo, they would have to PAL Pad to bring it back. Which could be hard to find at this point in the game, and I don't believe they've played... No, they haven't played PAL Pad. So here... I don't want to bench another Gible. I think now is when we go Monkey Dory. And we've got the Luminous Energy to set up, so that's kind of perfect for us. Yeah, I definitely like that. We're going to attach the Luminous. And I'm trying to think if I Bibarel first or Iono. I think I'm gonna... I don't necessarily... There's nothing I'm really looking for. Maybe Legacy Energy for next turn. I think I'm just gonna Bibarel because maybe I hold the hand. I mean, I'll concealed cards. Again, I'm not necessarily looking for anything in specific, so I'm not worried about getting anything too good, but we get another energy to set up with Garchomp, and we could definitely Iono these cards to the bottom. I mean, those aren't cards we're really looking for at this point in the game. That's not a bad hand, because if they KO our Garchomp this turn, and I think I don't mind giving them a Garchomp, we've got some lethal attackers on our bench. So we're going to swing for 160. We're going to put that fighting energy on Okidogi. And this is what I meant where with Luminous Energy, this is all you need to set it up. You've got the energy cost fulfilled with the Luminous, as well as the HP and damage buff, also because of the Luminous, because it could provide, it's every type of energy at one, but only one energy, which is like absolutely perfect for a card like Okidogi. So they're definitely going to heal 60 damage off this Gardevoir. But I'm not really super scared of it. I mean, it'll have, what, 150 HP less? So we can't take the KO with Terrakion. I'm not going to give him another 2-prizer. I'm probably just going to swing with Okidogi. It is weak to Psychic, but, like, it's a single prize attacker. And taking 2 prize cards with the 1 prize attacker never hurts. So I'm curious where they put this damage, though. With the Adrenabrains, they do Refinement away Screamtails. Or that's not even Screamtails. Oh my god, I was definitely calling it last time too. Fluttermane. That is Fluttermane. They do Refinement away Fluttermane again, which is fine. I mean, that's not an attacker I was super scared about. It doesn't even one-shot Okidogi with weakness. And I'm curious where this other refinement puts him. Cresselia. Now that, I am kind of happy that's gone. Because Cresselia has a pesky attack for sure. Moonglow Reverse, move 2 damage counters from each of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. If they had a full board of Psychic Pokemon, this Tatsugiri is hurting them a little bit, but if they had all Psychic Pokemon, they totally could have taken out our Bibarel there. And with Ultra Ball, they choose to go for another Gardevoir EX, which tells me they're going to retreat and take the KO. Which I'm fine with. Like, I'm not upset about that at all, I think, right now. Because we're just going to counter catch her. I mean, they're going to take 2 prizes here, drop to 2 prize cards, which is a little scary because we got this Garchomp. So now I think we're going to start looking for Turo. But we just counter catch her up this damaged Gardevoir, and we're also going to put ourselves at 2 prize cards. And this game is definitely a close game. And for the BDIF against a deck like Garchomp EX, you know, I'm not complaining whichever way this goes. I mean, I think Garchomp is definitely putting this guy up to some difficult decisions, some difficult spots, and that's, I mean, sometimes the best you could do. You know, taking a super off meta deck like this into a good deck like Guardy, and they're gonna start limited. They're gonna go for Adrenabrain KOs on our Bibarel, which probably is the best play for them. I mean, definitely the best play for them. We lose Bibarel, we lose a huge part of our setup, but we still got Radiant Greninja, so you know we got a little bit of draw, but Radiant Greninja wasn't helping us out in the early game. That's for sure. But, you know, maybe late game we've thinned the deck out a bit. You know, maybe our concealed cards will start feeling a little bit better. And they go for the KO here with Miracle Force, yeah. So, yeah, I think this is definitely just an Okidogi line here. I'm definitely going to Artazon. Try to get another Okidogi set up. Oh, wait, actually, we already had one in hand. We did get Irida, which I don't hate. I mean, I think first things first, let's get another beefy single prizer up. I think I'd rather Iono here, so I am going to counter catcher this up to take the KO, because if we can Iono, we're going to put them at 2 cards and they only have 1 refinement in play, so I think that could help us a lot more. So I am going to Bibarel before I play the Irida, and we do get Iono, which is perfect for us, so we are going to rip that Iono and see if we could put our opponent into more of a dead hand spot. And we do get Turo for next turn, so if they don't have boss in hand, we are just going to force single prize Pokemon for the rest of this game. Oh, I forgot about resistance. We still do take the KO. Thank gosh. They do take 30 less damage from fighting Pokemon. Totally forgot about that the whole game. Oh gosh. That could have been really bad really quick. Bloodmoon Ursaluna, as much trash as I was talking about it in the beginning of the game, might come up absolutely clutch in the late game here. Maybe. I do think this is at least for next turn with what we're looking right now, I think the play is Turo up the Garchomp. And then go with Cavern Tackle. Just get some nice chip damage off. They might be... I'm curious what they're swinging with, man. I mean, yeah, the Adrena Brain here pops out. Oh, wait. No, that's just game. Oh, that's right. Because then he'll use the other Adrena Brain. He'll take the KO on Bidoof, you know, take a prize card off that. He's going to swing with Miracle Force for an unholy amount of damage. KO the Okidogi. And I didn't even realize I totally just walked into the loss on that one. You hate to see it, but that was an awesome game. Honestly, not super upset about that performance from Garchomp. I think we totally had a shot there. We never were able to get out Legacy Energy. If we were on that Okidogi right there, I mean, we were still, I think, 100% in that game. So, you know, we definitely had a shot. It wasn't looking great, but, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. I think the early game, we just took too long to set up. And against a deck like Gardevoir, you don't have the luxury of waiting that long. So, I mean, definitely an unfortunate game one, but, you know, I think overall the deck played pretty solid. You know, I'm pretty happy with the performance. So, definitely not a bad matchup against Gardevoir for sure. Definitely a little tricky, but that was a fun game. And yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. All right, into game 2. We also get to pick the coin flip again. We are going to run heads, and we win the coin flip again. All right, so I do think, especially after a dead hand like last game, unfortunate loss for us, I do think we want to go second. If we can get an Irida or something like that for a Buddy Buddy Puffin, I think that is huge for us and will definitely help us in the long run. His hand is actually solid. Taking a look at this hand. I mean, we're short in energy, but we have Rare Candy in hand, so we could Irida for Energy Loto if I think that's something we're going to need, but I might even do Irida for Ultra Ball. Just because I'm going to get a Bibarel into play. And we're playing Palafin EX. Oh, this is going to be a match for sure. Palafin EX has 340 HP, which we can't two-shot with Garchomp no matter how we put it, but we can two-shot with Okidogi. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. I have not played against Palafin EX really much at all because it was bugged for the longest time. This is a super fun deck. I would totally love to give this deck a try. If you want me to do it for the channel too, please leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to play something like Palafin EX, or if you have a list that you could swing that you think is pretty solid and want me to look at for this deck. I'd love to give it a shot. And we draw Okidogi there, which is solid. So let's... We definitely need Bibarel. We definitely need another Gible. Might even take another Bibarel, another Bidoof, just to ensure we're getting some big draws out. Do we have Legacy? We've at one Energy Loto's prize, but we've got Legacy, one Luminous' prize as well, and we got our Fighting Energy, so that's not bad. I mean, I don't know what the play here with Irida is, to be honest. I think I definitely want to take another Bidoof out. For sure. And I think I might Irida for... Oh no, we have a Rod in hand, so... Or Rod should be good. I think I want to Irida for Ultra Ball and Greninja. Oh wait, no. Obviously Garchomp. What? We have Rare Candy in hand. I mean, we couldn't attack this turn anyways, but at least next turn we've got Rare Candy, Garchomp. They're not going to kill two of these at once. And we've got Ultra Ball for Bibarel, and hopefully that will get us going. So yeah, no, definitely not upset with this play at all. This was... that was a solid turn one. As far as turn ones go, not upset about that. I think if we had an energy to attach to, like, the benched Gible, that maybe might have been the best thing we could have done. But it happens. I think the biggest thing here... See what our opponent does. I don't know how consistent Palafin is. So there is a chance they could whiff this turn 1 KO and they just go for a Valiant Evolution and just choose to evolve this Pokemon. And they take Jirachi, which is interesting. Because Maybe they're scared of some Garchomp partner that I'm unfamiliar with, but I've got nothing that's going to put damage counters or something like that on their benched Pokemon. So that's kind of a wasted bench space, which is, hey, fine by me, you know. I mean, if they don't know what I'm playing, I don't even know what I'm playing, so, you know, that works. And they do get Ultra Ball, so they do have Bibarel. They can draw some cards. Let's see if they get the evolution. It seems like they're short the evolution right now. They go for the Industrious Incisors first? No, they switch first. Maybe they're just sacking Jirachi. Maybe they're not super confident. Yeah, it seems like they might just be sacking Jirachi, which I'm not super upset about. You know, I'll take an early game prize card for sure. I'd much prefer it to be on these Finizins, but you know, if we got to start the early lead by killing a Jirachi, that's what we'll do. And they Earthen Vessel Palafin EX. That's insane. But we can take a look at it right now. 250 damage, can't attack next turn, which means they're going to need some switch outs because of the 2 retreat cost. And the Hero Spirit ability. Oh, they didn't take Palafin EX. Interesting. Oh, actually, no, they did. I don't know why I didn't see it there. Yeah, they took Palafin back into the deck. Okay, that makes sense. You have to use the 0 to hero ability to put it in play. So it's almost like a stage 1.5. It's not necessarily like a stage 2, and that is probably the most annoying thing our opponent could have done there. So that's awesome. We do get Bibarel. I am going to evolve the benched one first, just in case we get a switch card. Because we don't play switch, we play switch card. And I'm going to evolve our Garchomp here. Definitely going to thin a little bit with Artazon. We're going to take another Okidogi out, because Okidogi is going to be our best friend this game for sure. And we're going to Ultra Ball away Counter Catcher and Artazon. I'm going to take Bibarel out of the deck in case we need to use a second one, but I don't want to evolve it first in case we get switch cart. So I am just going to rip the first Industrious Incisors, see what we get. Not bad. I mean, we'll evolve the second one. I'm going to rip Energy Loto, see if we get anything fun off this. And we don't, so that's fine. You know, we'll just thin a little bit here. Going to attach the energy to Garchomp, and we'll rip the other one. Hope we get Turo as our out right now. And we don't. I don't want to Iono them here, because they're in a pretty dead spot. I'd rather them just kill this Bibarel. So I think here, yeah, I think we just passed the turn here. I'm kind of fine with that. I mean, look, if we need to start attaching to Bibarel and retreat, putting energy in discard, that just helps our Garchomp set up our Okidogis a little bit more. So, you know, it's not the worst outcome. And they do have Squavette Bibarel. Not bad. You know, I think maybe Switch wouldn't be that bad instead of Switch Cart for a deck like this. Like my mentality why I put Switch Cart, if you're bossing up a Bibarel, most of the time you're KOing it. And Garchomp has a free retreat, so you don't really need to switch it anyways. So if you could heal some damage off Okidogi or Terrakion or something like that, I figured Switch Cart would be a little better. But, I mean, you know, you get stuck into situations like this sometime where it's hurting a little. And they got 2 energy here, so they could attack, retreat into another Palafin EX here. But they just passed the turn, so that's fine by us. We're going to start attaching the energy here. I don't really want to Iono. Like, I like our hand a lot here. I don't want to Iono because then they're going to see 6 new cards. And if they're not what they want, they've got Squavette and Bibarel again. They would be seeing so many cards per turn. So I think we just pass here and hope that they just KO this Bibarel. I mean, next turn if I need to, I 100%. I think next turn we Iono no matter what. And they're definitely going to be going for the attack here. They got the energy on Jirachi, so they are going to be going for a retreat. But I think next turn, no matter what, we got to go for Iono. We definitely got to start going with this deck. Because we've had a couple games now where our starts are looking a little rough. But let's see if they got it this turn. Let's see if they do kill the Bibarel or if we are able to keep it. I mean, losing a Luminous Energy hurts a little bit, and they do have the evolution, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, we got Legacy, we got 3 more Luminous, so together that's 4 energy right there. We could use for Okidogis, and that is plenty. They do have the Irida, so there's another Palafin. Yeah, so they're going to start getting going. Definitely going to start attacking this turn, but they played Irida, so they're not going to boss, so our Bibarel will be getting knocked out, and that is fine for us. And they play Abra, so this might be the tricky gym build, if I'm not mistaken, with Abra for the deck. Abra's got the teleporter ability, so that's how they can loop Palafins, because they can put Abra in the active spot, use teleporter, and I forgot if it switches it out or just puts it in the deck, but then they could use Palafin again to attack. So definitely a solid ability for this deck, and they charge energy. That is massive for us. I believe Palafin EX is in their hand. Is it not? Played Irida. No, it's not that we know, but Abra is in their hand. So I think here, I don't want to waste any time hoping I get a fighting energy, so I think I am just going to attach, retreat, play it safe, and I think I'm going to rip the Iono, because we really got to start, we got to ensure we're attacking at this point with the deck. So we're going to pop an Iono, get that Abra out of their hand. That's not a bad hand at all either. We do have a Gible, or a Gabite, so we are going to evolve our Gible a little bit. Other than that, the hand's looking a little dead. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Can I not? I was gonna say, we could just Hydrolander here, take a KO, but... Oh, there we go. Alright. TCG Live, doing its thing, acting boogie as usual. But we will take the KO here on Jirachi, put an energy on Okidogi. I was hoping we could get one more fighting energy in discard, but, you know, it's alright. Perfect. I mean, next turn, we got the Legacy Energy onto Okidogi. So we will be swinging for 170, and they won't take a prize card when they kill that Okidogi, which is pretty solid for us. And let's see. I mean, they absolutely have to attack here. They get Abra off the Artazon. That makes sense. Oh, so you just shuffle it into the deck. Okay, so that makes sense. I mean, Artazon will be in the game forever because I play Artazon, they play Artazon, so, you know, helping both of us out with that one. But we had to make sure our board got going, so we had to play it. And let's see what they do here. They're definitely going Palafin EX. I'm curious what the other... Oh, wait, no, actually, use 0 to hero for... Oh, they use a single prize Palafin. That's epic. That makes sense. You definitely play one of those. 0 to hero ability. This is why I said stage 1.5. You search your deck for, I believe, Palafin EX. Yeah, search your deck for Palafin EX, and basically just replace this Palafin with the Palafin EX. So it's not entirely a stage 2, but it's definitely not just a stage 1 either. It's you know, a little more than a stage 1, a little less than a stage 2, so stage 1.5. But it's such a fun ability, and they retreat here. Oh, it has to be on the bench, I guess. Yeah, it's on the bench. Oh, when it moves from the... I see. Okay. Moves from the active spot to the bench. Wow, that's definitely complicated for sure. And now they will be swinging for 250, which, yeah, it happens. We live the attack, and we free retreat right into Okidogi, so not super upset about that at all. We could even Turo here. Actually, I really like the Turo play, because it puts another energy in discard, which we might use later. I think I am going to Turo here. We could boss. We're going to save that boss for when we attack with Garchomp again to set up 2 Okidogis. We definitely run the Turo here. Promote Okidogi. Throw the Legacy down. I definitely want to evolve. I don't want to play another Gible. I think I just want to go for another Okidogi. Okidogi's going to be... Ooh. Is it prized? I think it is prized. Okay. I don't necessarily want to use Terrakion, but I guess we could. Terrakion could be big if we could get a boss KO on Bibarel. It's just we don't have a lot of energy in discard at the moment. We've only got 1, so it'll be a little harder to set up. But always believe in the full send. You got to run it. We're going to swing for 170, and they could take us out next turn. I mean, it's definitely a little difficult for them. They need some switch outs and whatnot, but I believe they've got a switch in hand. Switch into Abra. Use Abra to then promote this Palafin. Yeah, they definitely got a way to do it this turn. But gotta remember, they take 0 prize cards if they attack this active Okidogi because we have Legacy Energy attached. And if they choose not to kill this Okidogi, we'll just keep a 170 attacker in the game, and that is fine by me. But I think next turn we're gonna have to go for a Hydrolander boss play and probably take out their single prize Palafin. Maybe even their Abra, actually. If Abra's on the board, I might even boss up Abra at this point. But they're going to use Teleporter, probably promote Palafin, and then use that switch card that they took off Irida to keep setting themselves up. And never mind. Oh, they played the switch into Abra. I get it. Okay. Let's see what the play here is for them. They could swing again with Palafin. That would be a little annoying, for sure. But, I mean, we're going for a boss KO play this turn anyway, so it's not the end of the world. And I think they're swinging with Palafin. They will be able to use that pesky Giga Impact again, but Garchomp can tank it, so that's fine. And they take no prize cards for the KO, which is absolutely amazing for us. And I think here we're going to take out their Bibarel, because if we can start limiting that Squavette Bibarel, we're going to be feeling a lot better. No, yeah, we have to do that. I was thinking maybe we could get an ear to play off. Not this turn for sure. I will just double check. Okidogi's not prized, right? No. We are gonna need a rod to cycle back some Okidogis. But for now, I mean, let's boss up Bibarel. That's definitely enemy number 1 with the amount they're drawing. Let's take our KO. And we're gonna start setting up Okidogi again here. Oh, actually, yeah, you know, I mean, we could totally throw one on Terrakion now. Start passively building it up. And our prize card is Okidogi, which is perfect for us. And they get the 0 to hero Palafin in the active spot. Dude, this game is awesome. This is why I love the Pokemon card game, man. I mean, you get some awesome matches when you stray from the meta and just start playing what's enjoyable. I mean, obviously, you know, people enjoy the meta. People love running the meta. One of the biggest reasons I mean, I'll play meta decks if like, you know, you guys comment down below that you want me to play Raging Bull Gardevoir. I would love to play it. But I don't bring them to tournaments myself because I kind of love when your opponent has no idea what I'm playing. I don't entirely know this Palafin list. I don't know what spice they're going to pull out. I mean, this whole deck is spice, but I don't know what extra they're going to pull out and just show me they got on top of this. And I love that about this game. It's a huge strategy game, and when you go in blind, it creates some really fun scenarios. And they Iono here, which is devastating because we need a Luminous Energy, but there it is. So, definitely not bad. And we got Bloodmoon Ursaluna, which might be a big game might be a late game closer for us. That's got a massive attack for 240, which could definitely clean up a damaged Palafin EX. So, you know, we'll see what they got here. They did get another Bidoof into play, which, yeah, it's a little pesky, but we're gonna have to figure out how to deal with that. Let's see, we got 2 Luminous, Legacy down. So we got 2 Luminous left. Was there anything in my hand I wanted to shuffle back? Luminous and Okidogi. Okay, I definitely want to shuffle my deck. I mean, right now we could take another Okidogi for sure. But I definitely want to shuffle my deck, I believe, because I need that other Luminous back. Oh, I probably should have played the Buddy Poffins for a small misplay, but we're going to make it work. We're putting them on the bottom anyways with Iono. We're going to see what we do here. We just have another Garchomp line in its entirety in our hand. That doesn't help much at all, but that's fine. Yeah, just double check my math. Yep, it's 170. So we are just going to promote Okidogi, swing for 170, and just clean up a Palafin EX here. Going down to 2 prize cards, and since our opponent's only KO is on the Legacy Energy, they are still at 6, and that's not bad here, because now we could get Radiant Greninja. An insane amount of support Pokemon on our bench, but pff, fine by me, man. Make sure we're drawing cards, playing the game. I think we could finish this game out with pretty well, too. I mean, they're in a tricky spot for sure, but we should have another boss left in the deck. Yeah. Our counter capture's gone, but we got rid of that early, and we got so far ahead. I don't think it mattered too much. So that's you know, that's fine by me. I'm assuming they just swing for KO here. You know what I could do, and probably won't get boss. I'm thinking I just promote Garchomp, swing with Garchomp, because if we can clean up with, and they squiv to 1, let's see if they hit. Swing with Garchomp, and we could just fall behind enough until we can attack with Bloodmoon Ursaluna. It's definitely an option. So let's see what we top deck here. Is it gonna be? It's Luminous. Oh, that is absolutely massive. That was really the only thing I needed to search for. I think here I actually might take Bloodmoon Ursaluna. They only took 1 prize. They're gonna take 2 next turn, so it'd be at 3. Let me do a little bit of math with this thing. So if we took Bloodmoon Ursaluna, they would have taken 3 prize cards, killing this Garchomp, which would put them at 2 energy, put us at 2 energy left to attack. And if we look at our discard, we got 1 energy there, and we got 1 energy here. And if they Iono, we got 2 Bibarels. So I think I'm actually gonna take Bloodmoon Ursaluna here, because we could finish this game. I think I'm going to try to finish it with Bloodmoon Ursaluna for sure. I mean, if not, I could swing into another Palafin EX with Okidogi with this attachment, which I don't hate. That's 100% an option. They Ultra Ball. They get rid of Iono, which is interesting. I thought that might have been a supporter they would have wanted to play. I mean, they draw 5 cards. They put me at 2. I guess not that it matters. Like, I have 2 Bibarel, but, I mean, that was a good supporter to see leave, for sure. But if they can't retreat this Palafin, it's not game, but it's not... they're definitely in a tricky spot. And they Turo it up. Oh, that is devious, for sure. And swing with the single prizer. Also not something I'm super upset about. With a hand like this, I think I am going to start playing another Gible. Just set up another Garchomp just to get cards out of my hand. And they Vanguard Punch for 130, taking the KO on Garchomp EX. But that just makes our Bloodmoon Ursaluna more and more lethal. So right now we're at 2 energy, 2 attack. Yeah, no, we should be. I like where we're sitting this game for sure. Oh, we could... I don't necessarily want to take Radiant Greninja. I think I might even just go Ultra Ball just to thin cards out of my hand. Keep playing the game. I might need that. I'll get rid of Greninja at this point. We're not going to need these for the rest of the game. I'm just going to fail this. We're going to attach the energy here. We're going to Bibarel for 2. Pretty rough Bibarel, but I like where we're sitting next turn for sure. We just need to find 1 energy with 4 Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and we should have game on the board. Energy Loto is massive. I mean, that is the best card we could have got to find an energy for sure. So, oh, I guess it's not necessarily game, because if they evolve this we're in a super... We're not in a super sticky spot. We're in a rougher spot because we need boss energy to have game. They retreat. So I'm assuming they have the energy in hand. They also have Squavette Bibarel. So, yeah. 340 HP is just 10 damage outside of a walk in the park for us. I mean, if we were able to two-shot with Garchomps, we would have been chilling. And they Iono us to 1, which, I mean, that just increases our chance of getting Energy Boss. Which, actually just... Energy would be all I need if they KO. So that's fine. Because they'll take another prize card. They'll drop down to 2 prize cards. Which will 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we would just need boss at that point. Boss a single prizer. And they counter catcher something up. I'm fine with that. I mean, they swing for 250. They probably have a tool to do more damage, I'm assuming. I don't know why else they would have done that. That could really hurt us, though. If they kill this, that could really, really hurt our chances of winning. But definitely would have been a misplay. But that's the pro of playing decks your opponent doesn't know. Like I have, and they played Choice Bell. It doesn't help them because we are an EX. Choice Bell only does 30 more damage to V Pokemon, but my heart dropped out of my stomach when they did that. I mean, whew. And we got an insane setup to search for energy. I don't want to Artazon yet to shuffle back the Energy Loto because we're going to be looking through a lot of our deck for the energy anyways with these 2 Bibarels, and I think we have better odds of just doing that. So let's promote Palafin. They might just have to tank a shot. They did get rid of Kieran, which is a big damage buff. Kieran's an awesome card, by the way. If you don't know, it's got 2 effects. You choose one. You could either use it as a switch, or you could do 30 more damage to EX and V, which is absolutely amazing. And let's see if they have the attack this turn. They don't. That is huge for us. And we top deck. Oh, dude, look at that. So, I mean, we definitely throw that here for sure. Now we just need boss to win the game. And we didn't get it yet. Let's see. We definitely want to use Industrious Incisor, see if we can draw the boss. We don't get it. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. I'm trying to think what I even want to necessarily Irida Iono. I don't hate Ionoing here just because it puts us even farther in our deck to look for boss. I could even just burn Switch Cart because at this point I don't think it matters. I'm not going to though. I think I'm just going to Iono, put ourselves down to 1. We got 2 Bibarels for next turn. And I think I'm just going to swing here into this Palafin because we could kill this Palafin with Garchomp, Terrakion, or Okidogi, and we definitely have Energy Loto. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 fighting energy in play. We should have 2 left in the deck. We'll definitely see the rest of our deck next turn with Bibarel. Save like the 2 Ionos. We might not get that far down into the deck, but we should get far enough to find the energy and boss. So as long as they don't play Turo here, and I believe they just played Arven. Yeah, they played Arven, so they can't Turo, so I think we should have game next turn with either boss on... Yeah, boss on like anything. I mean, boss is all we need. So this game was definitely stressful. I mean, 340 HP is just... That's just too much. And they scoop here, so that's the win for Garchomp EX. Honestly, I mean, that was an awesome game. I absolutely love that match. Palafin is such a cool deck. 340 HP is an annoying amount of HP to go through. But Garchomp EX, with its setup and solid, easy attack potential, is making it pretty straightforward for us. A nice win for sure. So we are 1-1. Hoping for a positive record here with one of my favorite EXs, and I will see you guys in game number 3. Alright, and we are back for match number 3 after an absolutely amazing Palafin EX game. So I'm curious to see what our opponent is playing here. They got their Charizard coin, so I mean it might be a Charizard matchup. That's definitely a little harder for sure, but you know, we could get dialed into it. We got some water attackers if they got some backup fire attackers. We got some good two-shot single prizers that they can't even one-shot in the early game. And this hand is rough, first or second, and we are going second here. Yeah, this is... Oh, and it's Dragapult. Maybe even Dragapult Charizard. That's definitely a difficult matchup for us. But let's see what they could do. They Ultra Ball away some good cards for Rotom. So maybe they're in a sticky spot just like us. I mean, their board is super limited right now. You know, this is an evolution deck no matter what they're playing. And my god, do we have evolutions as well. But hopefully they don't have the attack like that. I don't think I need to attach to active. I think it'd be safer to attach to bench. In case they kill it. I mean, they have 320 HP, I believe. So we could two-shot with Hydrolander. Yeah, I like the attach pass. I mean, this is definitely been a rough day for the early games for sure. But, you know, we'll see how our opponents, you know, looking. Maybe they've got a rough hand too, and it doesn't really seem like it. And it is Dragapult Charizard, which... That's hard. I don't know if we could get through that much HP, but we'll give it a go. They just instant charge again. Alright, so if we top deck Rare Candy... Yeah, I'd prefer Irida, but alright, look at that. And ask and you shall receive. We're gonna fail that Energy Loto, which is okay, because we got Switch Cart. We can at least attack with this Garchomp. Take one prize and hope that prize is Iono. Our opponent isn't happy about that. Honestly, I'm confused about it too. I've got nothing else in my hand, dude. Trust me, this is the only play I possibly can make. And we get Irida, so we do have... I mean, we could go Rare Candy. I really don't like Rare Candy because we don't necessarily need another Garchomp. We do need our board to get set up. So I think I might just go Buddy Poffin and try to get a Bidoof in play. And this is why we play Bidoof. We're going to need it in the mid-game. And they're already going to be getting some Dragapult set up. So they could kill the lower HP Bidoof that has bench protection because they do damage counters and not damage. But we are unfair stamped into an absolutely fine hand. I mean, we have to get rid of a Bibarel. I don't know if my other one is prized. But I do know I need cards to play the game. So, you know, not super upset about it. I'm curious. They really need to get a Phantom Dive off this turn, so they are going to Rotom. I'm curious if they have Rare Candy Charizard in their hand, or if they're just going to search for a Fire Energy. But I'm hoping this turn could be a big pop-off turn for us. And if we could evolve that Gible this turn, that would be awesome. And they just go for a Dracloak. Temple of Sinnoh's a problem. That's bad for us. That is bad news bears. That shuts down our Okidogis. And they might just Jet Headbutt KO, which honestly... Word, dude. I'm fine with that. That is okay. Our opponent's definitely in a sticky spot for next turn. We're not necessarily in the best of spots right now. We gotta see where this research takes us. And, oh, getting rid of a Luminous Energy is the worst feeling. Honestly, I might attach it for a late game Sonic Dive. The attachment could be big. I'm not gonna attach. Ah, man, this is tough for sure. I'm thinking I could attach it for a late game Sonic Dive potential, or I could wait and hold my attachment for whatever I get off research. I think I'm just going to attach it, because taking a Sonic Dive KO on Dracloak or something like that doesn't really hurt off much. I don't need to get rid of Temple of Sinnoh this turn, so I don't think I'm going to. I am... Oh, we do need more Pokemon though, so maybe I do, just to get some more Artisans into play. I don't hate getting a Bidoof out. Our other Bidoof, or Bibarel, is not prized because we did draw into it, so that's good to know. I think we had to do this. We gotta just pray. We only had one Bidoof, but we did have two Bibarels. We've got to pray that this Bidoof could live this turn. If it could live this turn, we're in a fine spot. I'm not going to concealed cards. We need this Luminous Energy this match. because we are going to be facing too many tanky Pokemon. We need these Okidogis to put in the work like they're here for, but I'm confident in them. I mean, there's some solid attackers. But like I said in the beginning of the video, I mean, you know, during the whole intro, it's not hard to find Luminous Energy in this deck, or a Rainbow Energy, because there's Luminous and Legacy Energy. As you can see, we've pretty much every time we've needed a Luminous Energy, we've more or less had one or even like two in our hand, so it's not the most painful card to take out here. And they Arven, so they probably will get a Charizard EX into play, which is... Okay, they got Devolution. That's a little annoying, but I think we can make it work. They do get Charizard EX into play. They are going to Phantom Dive. But they played Arven, so they can't use Boss. They can't take out our Bidoof this turn, which is the best thing possible for us. That's really going to let us kind of flourish going into this next turn. We might have to Ultra Ball away a Luminous Energy, which is what I'm terrified of right now. Because we need one for Okidogi. We're going to top deck something, so it's, you know, I don't know what. And they just swing here. Counter Catcher, we're gonna have to get. I mean, that's a huge card for us. I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Oh, actually, I'm trying to think if we need an Ultra Ball away. I was thinking we need Bibarel. We don't. We're literally holding Bibarel. Definitely need an Artazon. I don't hate getting another Garchomp into play. We don't necessarily need another Okidogi right now. We could really use another Garchomp though, so I think I might do that. Attach this here. I don't necessarily know what I would Ultra Ball for, so I don't think I'm going to get rid of this Luminous just yet. I think I'm gonna Industrious Incisors, then hopefully get a Basic Energy, and I don't. Oh, this is rough for sure. We do have Rare Candy Garchomp for next turn. And I don't hate putting a Legacy Energy on a Garchomp. I mean, this Pokemon for one prize, oh my god, that is insane. So honestly, I might just hold the hand here, swing for KO, give them Garchomp. I mean, we got another Garchomp in the back pocket, so I'm not upset about it at all. I think that's the play for us. We take 2 prize cards. Hopefully a Fighting Energy comes out of this. Another Irida. Not upset about that. I mean, now we can totally you know, Rare Candy into another Garchomp. We could even take Garchomp off Ultra Ball or Nest Ball. We do have Artazon, so we could fill up our bench this turn, which would be pretty solid. I like where we're sitting though. I mean, we're definitely, you know, it's a rough game for sure. These Okidogis are absolutely critical to making sure we can deal with these Charizards, which is probably going to be the better attacker for our opponent here. And they're already swinging 270, which is absolutely insane. Bloodmoon Ursaluna is in KO range, so if we bench it now, we need to bench it for a finishing, you know, we win the game KO. And we just get Rare Candy off the top deck, which I think is perfect for us, because I think here what I want to do, we don't need an Irida this turn, or we don't need 2 Irida this turn, we only need 1. We got Bibarel to play, so I think I'm going to Ultra Ball for Garchomp right now. Play the Rare Candy, let's evolve, let's get this Gible into the safety of 320 HP. I think we play Irida for an Energy Loto. I want to see if we can get a Fighting Energy off Energy Loto. Is what I'm thinking, and we don't have it. It is prize. Probably should have checked that. So what's the play here then? We could Nest Ball. How many Fighting Energy do we have in discard? Just 1. It's rough. It's rough for sure. I think we just take Nest Ball then. I mean, let's get another Okidogi for ourselves. Thin that out of the deck. We got 2 more, which is perfect. I could take them all out. I'm actually not super opposed to that. I think we're going to do it. How many energy do we have in the deck? We've got 1 fighting energy in discard. We've got 5 in deck, so we've got as many fighting energy as we can in the deck. I'm trying to think if I concealed cards here. I might just attach Legacy here. Oh no, that shuts off Luminous. Oh, but it doesn't matter because we have Legacy energy. I think I'm going to Bibarel first. Let's see if I have to Legacy energy. I'd rather not. And we don't have to. That is perfect. That is absolutely fine. Not going to get rid of either of these energy. Next turn, I think I'm going to attach a Legacy to the Garchomp, make that a single prizer, as well as do enough damage to take the KO on this Garchomp EX. Because they have 160 health left, and Hydrolander will be the perfect cleanup card for this deck. Or for Charizard. So this is what I meant with the Okidogi Garchomp combo. You could deal with Charizard. It's difficult, but you could deal with Charizard for sure. And we will have 2... Oh my god, they Turo. That's the worst thing that could have happened. That is... They go into Dracloak, which is fine. I mean, look. They're going to kill this Okidogi. They're going to take 0 prize cards. We're going to use Hydrolander to put 2 fighting energy onto Okidogis. And that'll have to be enough to get us through. Our opponent's hand has been dead this whole game, though. It's definitely helped us out a little bit. They do have the evolution. Do they have the psychic energy? If they do, that would be terrifying because our Bibarel would get cooked. They have the evolution. Do they have the psychic energy, though? If they don't, we are in literally the best spot. There's a chance they don't either. They got a small hand. They use their Draclox abilities. They didn't play a supporter yet, which tells me... Oh, no, they played Turo, so they can't even Arven for Earthen Vessel. Yeah. I mean, if they have to... I don't know what the play for them is if they don't have the Psychic. They could Jet Headbutt, but we're playing a single prizer that... A single prizer that... Oh, we don't have Legacy. Yeah, so they still take 1 prize. I mean... And they scoop. We're running away with match number 3 against Dragapult Charizard. Definitely a hard match. I mean... Them whiffing the attack there was absolutely massive for us. But you could see where that Garchomp Okidogi combo could be so deadly against these tanky decks. I mean, if they can't kill Garchomp in 1 shot, you know, it's just a free retreat out for us. And because of Hydrolander, it is just so easy to set up other Okidogis. It's not hard to draw into your Luminous energies. Legacy energy is the perfect A-spec for a deck like this. I mean, look, I know I said Garchomp EX might not be the most competitively viable deck in like a regional setting, but that doesn't mean it can't hold its own. I mean, this deck has legit potential to be a solid deck in my opinion. So, I mean, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching it through. I can't tell you how much it means to a new YouTuber like me. I mean, please let me know what you think of the video, if there's things you want me to do in the future, future decks, future ideas, future things that help me make my videos more enjoyable for you guys. I mean, please let me know in the comments below, and I hope I could see you in our videos coming out in the future. With that, thank you. Have the best day. Catch you later.